So guys, in Shatan, and after checking out Eco Horizon, right, what got me really curious is this new development of Batu Kawan as the next smart eco city of Penang. Penang is divided into the mainland and the island, and you have two ways to connect to the island. One is the main bridge, the other one is the new bridge that is connecting Batu Kawan over to Bayan Lepas where the airport is. For us in Klang Valley, we are pretty spoiled because we have master plans everywhere. Here 4,000 acres, here 3,000 acres, here 600 acres, right? This is going to be 6,300 over acres, which is very rare up north. Now you have 6,000 over acres, right? What we will need to do is to solve the connectivity issue. First the infrastructure, next then the zoning. How do people access to this site? We have the second bridge and we have the new highways which is connecting to the Bukit Mertajam. Then after they solve the circulation, they will need to think about zoning. Which area you have the residential, which area you have the light industrial, which area will be leisure, which area will be nature reserve, what about education, what about commercial supports and things like that. After you get the blueprint sorted out, then only you start inviting players into this sandbox. So what we're going to deep dive today is a very important component because it's also a strategy to build population. For example, now I have this plot of land, right? Would you want to take one to build your factories? Then only you will have talents or people moving in because the job opportunities are there. At the same time, you need to consider where do people live, where do they eat, where do they play. All that needs to be sorted out in this blueprint, and that's what we're going to check out today. So this is the hotel that I was staying today, part of Vervia. It's a new form of shop lots. You have the landscape, the roads are wide, and all these design components really juxtapose with whatever we know in Penang Island. And for the benefit of everyone here, right, I think we can start from the perspective if you are actually a resident around Eco Horizon, and if you were to move here, what can you expect and things like that. This is the Batu Kawan master plan, and this is an island within an island. And if we were to come from KL, this would be the branch road. Then we pay the toll here, and we actually turn in this side. We have Eco Horizon here, and we can see IKEA on the direct opposite. So this highway separates out the industrial areas as well as the living and commercial areas. The green things are the residential condominiums and apartments. The pink color ones are the compliance things where you have the PMU, this is for the TNB. And for brands that are in the industrial areas, where you can see Bunsu, Honda, you can see Sandys is here, HP is here. And what we're going to do today is we will go and see all these one by one. Okay, cool. So the elevated structure right there is the main highway connecting to this Batu Kawan. This is the access from the light industrial park, right? Connecting to Simpang Empire. Not only you have the highway, you also have the local roads. So that is the circulation, and that right opposite will be the iconic Medicare. And this is when we talk about when businesses purchase land from the master planner, then build their own factory here, and that will generate job opportunities which will support the entire socio-economic of the township. That's why we also observe across the light industrial areas, you have the Western Digital, the Boston, Honda, Flex. Generally those are light industrial. You don't have fumes, the general perceptions that we have towards industrial area. In this case, we won't have such things. Among the factories in this industrial zone, right, we will also find PMUs. This is the difference between master plan and pocket land developments. During the blueprint, right, I get to already determine where these components will be located. And for these components to be located within the industrial areas, the people here generally don't care compared to the residential areas. So you also have the STP, the sewage treatment plant over this site. Sometimes when we think about design, right, we also need to think where the water come from, where the electrical come from, and all this sewage, where do they go to. Also in the industrial park, what's important is the width of the road, because what you will see around here are all heavy vehicles, trucks, van, construction monsters like this, right? It's going to be there all the time using this road. So as a resident, you won't want all this going through your housing estates, right? Because it will have noise, dust, safety issues and things like that. So what you can see behind us right now, this amazing structure, right, is like a ship. That's the Peninsula College at the industrial area itself. This is the stormwater drainage, right? Because this is right at the fringe with the sea. And you have that layer of mangrove. It's the responsibility of the authority to impose guidelines and requirements to preserve some of it. You need to have a balance between environment, social, economics, and finance, right? All these needs to coexist together. Right after Peninsula College, you have this UOW, also KDU Penang University College. When you have tertiary education in a township like this, right, students get to enjoy that campus lifestyle instead of all those city colleges that I went to. If you look into the topography in this area, you have the sea, you have the mountains, and it's very, very cool to hang out. Anyway, the commercial areas will then be focused around here. What you see behind me right now is the affordable housing. That is also a requirement every time you were to build a master plan, right? And this is also part of the responsibility of PDC itself, so they will need to develop all these compliance things lah. And for land status, right, the Batu Kawan as a whole, there's a mixture between leasehold and freehold. And I don't know, this is like non-official, this is just like me overhearing news. There are certain lands that are converted from leasehold to freehold. Again, leasehold to freehold, yeah. So during the weekends or holidays, right, when your friends and family come and visit, where should you bring them to? There's this jetty Batu Musang where you can actually travel by boat to check out the pontoons and fishing village, right, to enjoy your seafood. And you have a lot of nature animals, like you can see the monkeys that are behind me. So on this part of the master plan is where they preserve nature at its best, because development won't reach here just yet. I think another 50 years easily. Not only that, what gets a lot of residents excited as well would be the future development. So far, there's confirmation for 3 things. Number 1 would be this, the Penang Medical and Technology Hub, which is around this area, and this will generate a lot of hype because Penang's medical industry is actually very, very prosperous. Number 2, Tzu Zhi Community Center around this plot of land. And one of the most important component for residential is there will be a Chinese school around here that will be built, and all these are confirmed by the media already. So these are just exciting news for everyone, especially for residents around this area. Now we are at Simpang Empire, the existing housing estates around this address. And what we can see is the main difference, the roads are actually narrow. And there's no street lamps, right? Then you can see the exposed drainage. You can see the cablings with all still on pillars. And all these are public roads. People can just come in and out anytime they want. So security might be a concern. And it will be an opportunity if they want to upgrade. Because they are still familiar with the surrounding, their family and friends are all around the place. It will be a whole different living experience to pursue more in their living lifestyle, right? If you want facilities, if you want security, if you want landscape designs. One of the final stop, also part of the leisure component, will be this stadium. I really see this as a luxury because it's not easy to really carve out a piece of land just to accommodate sporting events. And I think that's all for this episode of area review. What we have went through is the residential areas, right, then the commercial areas, then we went to the light industrial areas, we checked out the highway, the education facilities, the nature element of the site, as well as some sports and leisure elements. So the main message here will be the difference between well-planned township versus pocket land developments. If this land was left open up to private developers whether they want to build or don't want to build, right, versus a key body that drives the entire development for this township, is going to be very, very different. And I always say that we only appreciate town planning when we have elements that we don't want next to our house. For example, the pylons, for example, the sewage treatment plants, right? So with proper planning, you will allocate these elements in locations where they are acceptable. And most importantly, thank you very much to the team at EcoWorld for showing me around this amazing township, giving me all the insights. I really, really appreciate it. So I'll put their link down below for their latest co-home product, which is like around 400,000 only. With that, thank you very much for watching. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.